There's many different varieties of games, from shooting aliens, killing zombies, and superhuman characters, but not many about fighting fires. But the Super Nintendo gave us the Firemen. On the surface, this doesn't seem that interesting, but let's have a little look. In this game, there's a Christmas party going on in an office block, when trouble breaks out. Sounds familiar?
Welcome to the party, pal!
This is no ordinary building. It has dangerous chemicals being manufactured, and if the fire reaches them, the whole building will explode. The firemen are quickly dispatched to the scene, who are Pete and Danny. It's a simple setup where you have a map at the top of the screen and your time remaining, a motion detector to locate any casualties nearby, your life meter, and the amount of water bombs you have. Your character only has a couple of moves. With the Y button you send out a long stream of water from your hose, the B button sends out a spray toward the ground, X throws a water bomb, and A makes your character crawl. L and R will make your character lock in the direction you're facing so you can strafe side to side. You have little objectives to complete, which is easy enough as it's all relatively linear. There are casualties that you can rescue and some that are not on the suggested path. When you rescue one, your health will be topped up. As for the enemies in this game, there aren't any. You only have fire to deal with, but it's not as simple as standing there and soaking everything. The fire can move across the floor and hit you. Not only is the fire a problem, but the scenery is too. There's falling objects as well as collapsing floors and the dreaded backdrafts. Using the hose is easy enough, you point and shoot, but each fire has a different way to put them out. You'll learn this as you go along. The small fires on the floor can be put out by pointing your hose down with the B button. Fires that are big can be put out with a long range hose. This is also good for when there are robots that are out of control. You can keep a safe distance and destroy it. Some places you won't be able to get to, so you'll have to take a different route which may have a lot of hazards to deal with. But if you take your time, it's not really that hard to get through. At the end of each floor you'll encounter the boss. This is just a huge fire that moves around the screen and shoots out flames or fireballs you need to avoid. This is where the water bombs come in handy. Learning to use the L and R buttons will help out a lot during gameplay. If you try and put out fires while moving, you start to spray water in all directions when you try to move. Locking in your position gives you the freedom of movement whilst keeping the water focused on your target. Using the downward spray is useful not just for small floor fires, but moving ones too. Due to the angle of the screen, it's hard to tell if they're on the floor or not, but you'll soon work this one out. And as they have different designs, you'll remember them and which hose to put them out with. There are a few places you'll need to crawl under, which has no issues, but this can also be used when there are fireballs bouncing around the room. But is this any good? When I first saw this game I didn't think it would be any good, but it's a brilliant game. This has the same sort of viewpoint as A Link to the Past or Zombies Ate My Neighbours, and it works really well. The graphics are excellent and there's plenty of colour and detail here. The controls are absolutely fine with only one issue, and that's it can get a bit fiddly when you get overwhelmed by fire, but that's down to the player and not the game. It doesn't get boring either like I thought it might. It keeps you on your toes at all times. The difficulty is well balanced, but I'd advise easy to begin with. The sound and music are good. The music can get quite racy as things heat up. You can always go back to this game again to find all casualties that are hidden, or just play it to pass the time. It's a brilliant game for the Super Nintendo, but it comes at a huge cost. If you have a Super Famicom, it's more affordable on that one.